Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cleveland Heights High School. My name is David Jerns. I teach here on the Drama Club, and it's my very great pleasure to welcome you to the 13th annual One Acts. Yay! That's a very cool thing. So every year when we do this show, the cool thing about it, there's a lot of cool things about it, but one of the coolest things about these shows in particular is that I don't direct them. Every year we take senior students who have done theater coursework, and they take over the role of directing. So, yeah, come on. So they meet with me, they choose a show, they run the auditions, they run the rehearsals, they meet with Keith, our technical director, to design sets and figure out lighting cues and all of those things. And I'm just kind of there to keep the guide rails on and make sure everything goes okay. But it's enormously cool to watch students come up from being freshmen and go through this process of growing and maturing in the theater till they're ready to take on this level of responsibility. It's one of the coolest parts of my job. I'm enormously proud of them. So in a few minutes, we're going to have people come on out. We had a pretty crazy week. I should rephrase that. We had a very relaxed week and a pretty crazy yesterday. We missed a couple days of rehearsal, but the show goes on, and here we are. It's very exciting. We could see some alumni in the audience. Clap it up for alumni. Yeah, very cool. If you've been coming to these One Acts for long enough, you might notice we recycle a few of the shows. We kind of have some favorites that loop around. But what's really cool, even if you've seen the shows before, even if you've been in the shows before, the shows you're going to see tonight are live theater, which is a really cool and special thing. Because even if you've seen these scripts performed some other time, this performance of them only exists in this place and in this time. And no other audience, from the beginning of time till the end of it, is ever going to see these shows in the exact same way that you are about to see them. It's a singular experience in all of time and space. And in a world of kind of infinitely streamable and infinitely reproducible experiences, to be here for something that is so ephemeral, that exists for a time and then it's gone and it will never be back, is a very cool and I think exciting and magical thing. So thank you all so much for coming out, and enjoy the show.
Hi everyone, my name is Paige, or some people may know me as Aspen. I've been in Drama Club for 4 years, but this is my first year directing. I'm really excited. My first show, The American Dream Revisited, is about a family going to the desert, and some crazy things happen, and you get to see who makes it out alive. And thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoy and laugh a lot, hopefully. And yeah, thank you so much.
What's wrong, Mom?
You're going too fast. I can't keep up.
It's really too bad you're so old.
Yeah, you're telling me.
How old are you, Grandma? Chartreuse, that's not polite to ask.
Screw you.
Don't talk to your mother that way.
Screw you too.
Can you believe this? It is just terrible the way children behave nowadays.
They have no respect for authority.
But what
what
can you do?
Well, for starters, you could have spanked her when she misbehaved as a child.
Shut the hell up, Mom. Nobody freaking asked you.
Now, Jim, your mother doesn't understand modern parenting. Her generation did things a little differently. Wrongly. But that's not entirely their fault because that's just how they were raised. Luckily, our generation could realize their many failings and easily avoid them.
Secondly, you could stop giving her every little thing she asks for.
Why don't you just shut up or take a nap or just die already?
Chartreuse, don't be so sensitive. Grandma's generation had absolutely nothing growing up, so she doesn't know the value of having absolutely everything handed to you.
Whatever. That kid's a spoiled brat.
Bite me.
And what kind of a name for a kid is Chartreuse? What, Kathy would have been too common?
You listen here, Grandma. One word out of you and I'll shatter your calcium-deficient bones like Jim's sorry excuse for a career.
Stella! Sorry. I didn't mean that.
No, it's fine. It's not your fault. It's my mother's fault. She shouldn't have been talking. Nobody wants to hear what you think.
I'm bored.
Look, can we all go back to the car? It's hot out here. And did any of you bring any water? I'm thirsty. What?
Well, Mom, you see, the thing is...
We're leaving you here.
What?
It's just that you've gotten so old.
And hard of hearing.
And you keep forgetting things we've told you.
But mainly it's because you're so old.
What are you talking about? I'm in good health. I just had a checkup. My hearing is fine. You people have started mumbling all the time. And I wouldn't forget everything you said if you weren't so boring or talked about anything besides yourselves. And as for old, people are living longer all the time.
And that's part of the problem.
Why is that?
Because we need your money. I mean, it's just sitting in your savings account. It should be in mutual funds, tech stocks, something.
And you don't use it for anything besides living expenses. You don't travel, you don't buy gourmet food or wine, you don't shop for antiques.
I've already got furniture.
Yeah, and it's old and it smells.
What do you need my money for? You both got good jobs.
That's debatable.
Della!
Sorry.
You're well paid. You've got plenty of money saved.
Yeah, but it's like you said, people are living longer. Our financial analyst told us we're gonna need a lot more money invested to keep spending the way we do into our golden years.
Or you could cut back on a few things.
Oh, Mom, that's so quaint.
What? It's not like you need 4 cars.
Hello? It's not the 1800s anymore, Grandma. No one today has just one car any more than people have just one facelift.
I was born in 1954.
You are so missing the point.
Look, Jim and I each need a minivan.
Why?
They're very practical.
But why do each of you need one?
So one of us can take the kids to soccer practice while the other picks up the groceries.
You only have one kid. And she never played soccer.
And we need a rugged sports utility vehicle for those rough and tumble nights out on the country.
You use that thing to drive to work in the city. And as for that stupid sports car.
You shut the hell up about my Porsche, old woman. I need that car. Do you hear me? I am 47. I need that car.
We're getting off topic here.
Look. I'm sorry, Mom, but this is just the way it is. We love you, right? See? We love you. We really do. And we're going to miss you. But we do not need you. We need your money.
So what's your master plan here? Bash my head in with a rock?
No, Mom, I could never hurt you.
Then what? You're going to love me to death out here?
We're not gonna kill you at all. We're just gonna tie you up and let you expire peacefully of exposure and dehydration.
You people are nuts! We should should have drowned each one of you at birth.
Is this gonna take much longer? I have a date tonight.
With who?
The lead singer of Scuzz.
Oh, no. I do not like the sound of that boy.
Who said it's a boy?
What? Are you telling me that you embrace in an alternative lifestyle?
Maybe I'm just experimenting.
Okay, let's get back to the matter at hand here.
No. It's important families talk.
Oh, now there's time to talk. Not that you could ever be bothered to talk to me when I needed it. No. Every night it was the same thing. A scotch on the rocks and a cigarette while you watch the evening news. Don't talk to me while I'm watching the news, honey. And at dinner, it was don't speak unless you're spoken to, Della. And then if I needed help with my homework, it was ask your mother. No. The only time you want to talk to me was at bedtime. Then it was, let Daddy tuck you in, sweetheart. You won't tell your mother if you see me leave with the little lady tonight, right? It could be our little secret. So don't tell me it's important for families to talk, Dad.
I'm not your father.
Oh, well, whatever. You're all the same anyway.
Actually, no. We were pretty close. Hey, Mom, remember playing badminton in the backyard?
Can we just tie her up and get out of here?
Right, yeah. Best to keep this to a business level. Della, could you pass me the rope?
You were supposed to bring it.
I thought you said that you would.
God damn it. Well, you better run back to the car.
Run? It's 5 miles, and it's really hot.
Then I guess you should have remembered the rope.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, here, use my handcuffs.
Why do you have those?
Why do you think?
I have a mind to ground you, young lady.
I'm already grounded.
Then how can you have a date tonight?
Because I don't listen to you.
Don't give me those. What should I cuff her to?
Criminal geniuses! That's what you are.
Be quiet and let me think.
Just out of curiosity, how is killing me supposed to help you financially?
It's called a will.
What makes you think I left any of my money to the likes of you three?
What?
Who's to say I didn't leave it to different charities? Schools, Greenpeace, theater companies?
Don't be ridiculous.
Leaving my money to the likes of you three? My money! You three! Oh my goodness! Oh my
Would she?
Of course not. I don't think.
Hey, this is serious. I need that money. I've got my whole life ahead of me. I don't have time to work. I need that money for all sorts of things right now. A car, the right clothes, drugs, maybe even college.
Why didn't you check the will?
I'm her only son. I thought she loved me. Do you? Do you love me? Did you ever love me?
I'll give it a rest. Listen, you three keep me alive. Take real good care of me. You can have all the money. When I die a natural death.
Damn you!
Oh my God, she's not moving. If she was telling the truth about the will, we've got to get her to a hospital before she dies.
Oh, she's faking.
She's bleeding profusely.
But then we'd have to carry her.
and I'm tired.
Let's just get out of here.
All right, we can leave her here. Maybe she was lying. And if not, we can just forge her signature on Social Security checks.
All right.
Gotcha. Wasn't lying. Get me to a hospital or all of it goes to charity. Dad, you're such a loser.
Where are the keys?
I think they're on Scuzz's tour bus.
Mom, how could you do this?
Saw it in an old movie, way before your time.
Damn it!
Wait a minute.
All right, help me carry her.
I'm not going to spend however long as her caretaker. We put thought and effort into planning this. I can't just walk away with nothing. I have plans for that money.
We're not gonna walk away with nothing. We'll check the will when we get home. I'm sure she's bluffing.
What if she's not bluffing?
Shut up and help me carry her. What are you doing with a gun?
I brought it in case you were too chicken to kill her.
Don't be an idiot. We can't kill her now.
God! You are stupid!
What?
Jim, darling, I love you, but, well, if we can't have all of her money, I'd at least like to have all of ours to myself.
You conniving bitch!
Flattery will get you nowhere. Goodbye, Jim.
Short shrimps! Do you want my Porsche? I'll tell you where I hide the keys.
You little...
Good girl. Now come over here. Let's see if you can shoot through the chain on these cuffs.
You know, it looks like everything's mine now.
Chartreuse, the keys are very well hidden. You will never find them.
So I'll hotwire it. Sorry, Grandma. It was all their idea.
That's all right, Chartreuse. I was gonna die soon anyways.
Yeah, look, it's getting late and I've got to go, but here's some water.
Thanks.
I'm a little turned around. Which way is the car?
It's that way. Right through those trees.
Oh, yeah, right. Thanks, Grandma.
Wait, can't you leave me the water?
No, it's a long walk. What if I get thirsty? Bye!
Bye-bye. Watch out for those rattlesnakes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hugh Davis. I'm the director for The Revenant, the next play that you're all going to see. I've been doing the One Act Festival for 4 years now. It's been a great time every year. Just being directed by students is an entirely different experience because you're so much more personal with them, and you really get to meet a lot more people. It's a lot of fun. So The Revenant is this comedy. Yeah? About two old friends who got letters and then they were lured to this park bench, but they'll come to find out that they didn't send the letter to each other. So let's find out who died. Who did?
What the hell was that?
A bat.
A bat? You think it was a bat?
Yes, a bat.
If it was a bat, why was it yodeling?
It wasn't yodeling. I believe it must have been a form of a mated call. I don't know what else it could have been. I don't mind telling you, Haggard. I find this all very disturbing.
Well, you're free to go if it's too much for you.
I didn't say it was too much for me. I just think it's rather uncanny.
Rubbish.
Uncanny rubbish.
Well, it was your idea.
What was my idea? The bat? I have no control over the bats.
Meeting here was your idea.
It wasn't my idea. It was your idea.
It wasn't my idea.
Well, you sent me the message.
You sent the message.
I sent no message.
You didn't send the message?
I got a message from you to meet me here.
But I sent no message.
Well, if you send no message and I send no message, yet we both, I gather,
Received messages.
then it would seem to follow that we both been lured here by a third party in the middle of the night for some nefarious purpose.
Nefarious?
Well, it can't be anything good, can it?
I shouldn't think so, no.
So under the circumstances, we'd be well advised to go.
Except, whoever sent the message is very likely watching us.
He already knows that. He sees us talking. It would hardly take him long to realize that we've been compared notes and both been lured here by a third party.
Good God, he could shoot either of us through the head with the deer rifle at any moment.
Think he's a crack shot, do you?
I think it's imprudent to presume otherwise.
And yet, he hasn't.
Not yet.
If that was his objective, he would have certainly taken care of us by now.
He probably wants to make us sweat first.
A possibility.
So, what do you think we should do?
My suggestion remains getting the hell out of here.
Except, any such action on our end could precipitate action on his, yes?
Yes, that being the case...
That being the case, let us cogitate. Who would want to lure us here and why?
Well-
Any enemies?
Well, you would know as well as I.
How so?
Well, mine would be yours.
I repeat, how so?
He wanted us both here, didn't he?
Yes, I see. So, it's a mutual enemy.
Manifestly.
And that would be...
I don't know. Give me a moment to think.
Owl! That! Can't think of anyone, can you?
Not a soul.
Well, someone must hate us.
Well, nobody hates me.
I don't like you much.
Yet, you don't hate me.
Give me time.
I don't think we have time.
I've just had a thought.
Notify the press.
Suppose it's one of us after all.
What do you mean?
Suppose one of us lured the other here to murder him.
But the notes.
The murderer is lying about the notes, you imbecile.
But I know I'm not lying about my note, which means you're the murderer.
But I'm not lying about my note either.
Which exactly is, of course, what the murderer would say.
It's also what an innocent man would say.
An innocent man?
Theoretically.
So you're denying you lured me here to murder me?
Can you honestly believe I did?
Well, I know I didn't lure myself here.
Look, I wouldn't lure across a room full of farts, much less out to the middle of the woods at midnight when I could be at home in my smoking jacket, warm and cozy in my study, sipping brandy over a volume of Lafon, or cuddled safely underneath my counterpane, playing silly buggers with my chambermaid.
With Lucille?
Her name is immaterial.
You've been playing with Lucille?
You're missing the point.
But Lucille!
Oh, don't get on your high horse, Leaf.
No, it's just I always rather fancied Lucille myself.
You? Fancy Lucille?
What man in his right mind wouldn't be? She has an exquisite nether lip.
My chambermaid's nether lip is not an issue here. And you, just for the record, would have as about as much a chance of having your way with Lucille's nether lip as my schnauzer has with eloping with your sister.
See here, Haggard. There's no reason to bring a fellow sister into this.
You dragged my chambermaid into
I
this.
didn't drag your chambermaid any place. You offered an entirely unsolicited account of your activities with her underneath your wretched counterpane.
I was simply attempting to illustrate... Never mind. Point is, either someone lured us both here, or one of us lured the other. And if it wasn't you, and it isn't me, then who the devil could it be, and what the hell do they intend to do with us?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be here. I'd be with Lucille.
You would not be with Lucille, I'd be with Lucille.
No, you'd be here. That's why I'd be with Lucille.
There are no conceivable circumstances under which you could possibly find yourself with Lucille. If I was dead and cut up into 1,000 pieces, you still wouldn't find yourself in any position to be with Lucille. Now, let us please get off Lucille.
I've never got on Lucille.
Point is, while you sit here blabbering on about my chambermaid, there's very likely a homicidal maniac out there waiting to pounce on us and perform unspeakable actions.
Such as?
I don't know.
If they're unspeakable, why are you speaking of them?
I'm speaking only of their unspeakability.
Now that's an exercise in redundancy if I've ever heard of one.
Well then, damn it, Leaf. Just, what do you suppose we do? Leaf!
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Lucille.
Well, stop it.
I don't think I can stop it.
Stop it, or so help me, I shall bludgeon you about the head with my walking stick.
I should warn you. I boxed at Oxford.
Kangaroos?
I wasn't bad either.
Good God.
I once broke Rudyard Kipling's nose.
Yeah, sure. I just remembered a dream.
Haggard, I don't give a rat's ass about your dreams. And this is certainly not the...
I dreamed of Lucille lying on her bed.
Go on.
I can see it so clearly. Her downy arms, her black hair splattered upon the pillow, the gentle slope of her gentle slopes.
What?
What?
I'm sorry, don't get agitated. Any sudden moves could be fatal. She's lying on the bed, then what?
There's someone peering at her through the window.
Uh-huh.
I can't quite make out who it is, but I have this eerie feeling it's someone I know.
Oh?
Now, they're creeping through her window.
Yes, yes.
This dark, ominous figure, it's moving stealthily towards her reclining form.
Keep going.
God, that's it!
What's it?
You cretin! Don't you see? Someone has lured us both here so that they can get to Lucille.
Oh no!
Their plan was to lure us out here so that they could steal back to my crib and ravish my chambermaid beyond imagining.
Oh no!
That's it. That must be it.
But why would they lure me here?
I just explained it. Are you deaf?
Your theory explains why I didn't want to get you out of the house. But why bother with me?
I don't know. Perhaps you're in on it. Perhaps you're here to distract me while someone else ravishes my chambermaid beyond imagining.
Why would I help somebody else get with Lucille when I fancy the girl so desperately myself?
I don't know. Perhaps you're incapable of satisfying a woman yourself, so you hired someone else to do it.
That's the most depraved thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
But isn't it true? I can satisfy any number of women, given the opportunity. I can supply sworn affidavits if you like.
Or, your plan is to murder me so you can have Lucille all to yourself. You lured me out here so you could kill me, steal back to my house, and ravish my chambermaid.
I would never do a thing like that.
Yeah, and how do I know that? Love makes men desperate.
Well, for one thing, I can never climb up to the trellis to get to the damn window. I hurt my back in a rugby scrum.
You in a rugby scrum.
I'm very athletic, I tell you.
How'd you know which window was hers?
What do you mean?
I mean, how did you know Lucille's window was the one above the trellis?
I can only
Have you been spying upon her for long?
I was bird watching.
Oh, is that what you call it?
It was perfectly innocent.
Right, you pervert, you should be taken out in horsewhip.
All right. Now and then, on my bird watching expeditions, on one, maybe two occasions, found myself peering in Lucille's bedroom window. And just once or twice seen her leaning out on a late, warm summer night.
Stop! You pervert! You bastard! You cretin!
You're killing me!
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my head.
It's quite all
For a
right.
moment.
It's quite all right. Truth is, having gazed upon Lucille's eerie, otherworldly beauty, any man would find it impossible to look away, like a goblin hypnotized by fire.
It is rather like that, isn't it? How does she do it? It's uncanny.
Absolutely. You know, there is one explanation we have not yet considered
For Lucille?
for the situation we presently find ourselves.
And what is that?
We're dreaming.
Who's dreaming? You mean both of us?
Well, at least one of us.
But which one?
Well, I'd say me, of course. Although, it might look different from your perspective. Does it matter?
I should think so, yes.
Why?
Because when one wakes, what happens to the other?
I don't follow.
If one of us is dreaming, then that means one of us isn't real.
If one of us is dreaming, then neither of us is real.
But the one who is dreaming is real.
Not necessarily.
How so?
Some die in their sleep.
Are you suggesting that we're dead?
I wasn't suggesting that at all. Although, now that you mention it,
What?
if we're dead, then this is hell.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I was sitting here with you wishing I was with Lucille. Hell is separation from the beloved and the presence of the other.
The other?
You blockhead. One's rival, one's other self, one's doppelganger, as it were.
I'm your doppelganger?
In a manner of speaking.
I don't want to be your doppelganger.
Doesn't matter, nevertheless.
Perhaps it's both.
Both what?
Perhaps it's both sleep and death.
What the hell does that mean?
Perhaps death is a dream. For what in sleep of death, what dreams may come. I mean, when one goes to sleep, in effect, one dies. One enters another place, another identity, a kind of dream identity. And when one wakes in the morning, how do they know they are the same person who went to sleep the night before? Because you see, the continuity of itself has been broken by the dark interval of sleep, and one's identity is merely the illusion of the continuity of itself.
Have you been smoking Chinese weeds?
Perhaps you haven't slept with Lucille at all. Perhaps you only dreamed it, or imagined it. Perhaps I slept with her. And perhaps when I dream it or imagine it, I'm actually remembered.
Perhaps it's her.
What's her?
Perhaps it's Lucille who's behind all of this. I mean, that would explain this a good deal more than your stupid death with the dream theory. She's probably lured us out so that she could sleep with someone else.
Who?
I don't know. The butler, the gamekeeper, the postman, Rudyard Kipling. What difference does it make?
Good God. So you think she's here now, copulating with the butler?
Well, perhaps not the butler. He's 94. And the gamekeeper smells like a knackery. Perhaps the vicar.
The vicar?
Yeah, I never did trust that damn vicar. He's a shifty-eyed son of a bitch.
But the vicar is a man of God.
Yeah, so were the Renaissance popes, but that didn't seem to stop them from sticking to anything that moved.
Great Scott, we gotta get back there.
Why? So you could watch with your damn binoculars the mating habits of the tough Sussex trolling?
No, I want to strangle that damn vicar before he turns into a bloody Renaissance pope.
What's that smell?
Don't look at me. You're the one who loves beans and wieners.
No, it's not that. It smells like a small animal of some sort. You know, I've been smelling it ever since I got here. Can't you smell it?
I thought it was you.
Wait, what's that? Under there.
Where? What is it?
It's a satchel of some sort.
Well, grab it.
You grab it.
I don't want to grab it.
Grab it or I'll tell Lucille what a cringing little mugwump you are.
All right, I'll grab it. All right, now you open it.
You open it.
I don't want to open it.
Open it.
Great Scott!
What is it, man?
I have no idea.
It appears to be a cactus of some sort.
A sea cucumber, perhaps?
It's a hedgehog.
A hedgehog?
Yeah, someone's left a satchel underneath this bench with the hedgehog in it.
Why the devil would anybody do that?
I don't know.
Do you think it's for us?
No, someone was just out for a stroll in the park with their hedgehog in a satchel, and quite by accident left it underneath this bench. The very bench you and I were both summoned to in the middle of the night. Does that seem likely?
Frankly, nothing about this seems likely. The whole thing kind of seems to be the most bizarre set of events imaginable.
Hey, what's that?
Where? What is it?
It looks like a piece of paper. There, up against the inside of the satchel.
Well, reach in and get it.
You reach in and get it.
How do I know the hedgehog won't attack me?
Because hedgehogs don't attack. They curl up in a ball. Exactly as this one. That's why they're hedgehogs and not wolverines.
Do you get the damn piece of paper?
All right. What a milquetoast you are. Pardon me, little fellow. I'm not gonna hurt you. Just gonna grab this piece of paper.
Why were you talking to the hedgehog?
I've got it.
What does it say?
I believe this hedgehog is dead.
That's what the note says? I believe this hedgehog is dead?
No, I mean I believe this hedgehog is dead.
Then what
No,
does it
doesn't
say?
that.
Then what does it say?
I can't read it. It's in German.
Let me see it.
You can't read German.
It isn't German. It's upside down.
Isn't upside down? Oh, so it is. Well, I left my spectacles at home. I still can't read it.
It says, Memento Mori from the Revenant.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, Memento Mori is Latin for remember that you must die.
I know what it means.
Then why'd you ask?
Because I don't know what it signifies.
A Memento Mori is anything that reminds you of your death.
I know that.
And a Revenant is a person who returns after a long absence, especially one who comes back from the dead.
I know what a revenant is. What I don't understand is what it means that a piece of paper that reads Memento Mori from a revenant is in a satchel with a dead hedgehog underneath the bench that you and I have both been lured to in the middle of the night. That's what I don't understand.
Well, there must be some explanation for all this.
Yes, but I don't know what it is.
This would appear to be a gift, for one or for both of us from a dead person.
A gift from a dead person.
The Revenant.
Why would a dead person send us a dead hedgehog?
To remind us of our mortality.
Right, but why would they send us a dead hedgehog?
To remind us of our mortality? Pay attention.
And what dead person?
The Revenant.
Yeah, but a revenant is one who comes back from the dead.
Yes.
Yes, so where is he?
Pardon?
Where is this person that's come back from the dead?
Actually, right over there.
Right over where? Ah!
Easy.
Oh, good God!
Don't panic.
I'm not panicking. That's not a dead person, that's a person. It looks like a person. It is a person, I'm wearing the hood. I think we're about to get to the bottom of this. Now, let me do the talking. You're terrible with people.
What? In my youth, I was known as the Mark Anthony of Peterman.
You shut up. Excuse me, sir. Or miss. Sir, you seem to be lost and you're all alone. It's all right. My name's Haggard and this is my friend Lee. If we could be of any assistance to you in any way, it would be our sincerest pleasure.
Did you write this note?
Memento mori from a revenant.
Did you write that?
Who did you think I was?
Well, I didn't think you were anybody. He thought you were Lucille, his housemate.
I did not think you were my housemate. Obviously, this person is a person. It's just, I don't know, just something very familiar about you. I can't quite put my finger on it, but 10 seconds ago when I saw you standing there behind me in the shadows, I had this uncanny, this eerie feeling that you and I had somehow, somewhere met before.
Where?
Where?
Where you and I met each other.
I don't know, somewhere in the past, but I was probably mistaken. I mean, I am now mistaken. Not often, but on occasion.
What about you?
What about me? Yeah, I'm sometimes mistaken in my life. I'm pretty sure they're small ones, although one is never fully completely aware of all the consequences in one's. Missteps in life is one.
Do I look familiar to you as well?
I can't really say, not with that hood on. Not that I'm asking you to remove your hood or anything. I never take such a liberty. All I'm saying is...
You're not saying much of anything.
Apparently not. Except, they do look familiar.
Look, I don't mean to pry, but it seems rather odd. I mean, out here all alone in such a forsaken place at such an hour. What I mean to say is...
What time is it?
Let me check. Oh, I seem to have left my watch at home. Well, it must be nearly midnight.
After, I should think. What are the odds of that? I must have forgotten my watch as well. That's pretty odd, isn't it?
I was a hedgehog once.
You were a hedgehog? You mean you had a hedgehog? Hey, like this one. Well, of course like this one. All hedgehogs are alike pretty much, aren't they?
My little hedgehog.
Make a good pet, do they? When they're alive, I mean. I'm presuming your hedgehog was alive. I don't imagine a dead hedgehog is much of a pet.
That's what he called me.
Who?
My little hedgehog.
You had a talking hedgehog.
That's what he called me.
Your hedgehog called you a little hedgehog.
My uncle.
Your uncle was a hedgehog?
My uncle called me his little hedgehog.
Oh, I see. Hey, you're looking pale, Leaf. You're trembling like a leaf. What is it?
And then he abandoned me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But you know, life goes on. You're still young. I mean, you seem as if you're still young. You look as if you're still young, and you sound as if you're still young. What I mean to say is life goes on.
So then I drowned myself.
You drowned yourself?
This person's an imposter.
Easy, Leaf. He's just a bit confused is all.
Who sent you here? Who sent you here? Why are you doing this?
Calm down. We don't talk to people that way.
How did you know about Theo? How did you know?
Who the hell is Theo?
Who put you up to this? Was it Haggard? It was Haggard, wasn't it?
What the devil are you talking about?
Why are you doing this? Why are you here?
I haven't the vaguest idea what you're talking about.
Why are you doing this? Why are you here?
Is this person named Theo?
No.
Then why are you talking about him? Sir, is your name by any chance Theo?
Theo?
You're not Theo.
Who is Theo?
Nobody.
So then why are you talking about him? I mean, clearly there's somebody Somebody who used to be your little hedgehog.
Theo is dead. He drowned himself.
Then who is this?
Don't you know?
I certainly do not. Jonathan? Are you Jonathan?
Jonathan?
No, it can't be Jonathan.
Who is Jonathan?
It's not Jonathan.
It could be Jonathan.
It could be somebody's Jonathan, but he's certainly not my Jonathan. My Jonathan...
You're Jonathan what?
Look, I don't know who this person is, but I don't appreciate this little joke one bit.
Who is this? Who is this man? What did you do to him?
I didn't do anything to anybody.
I was a little hedgehog.
I never called anybody a hedgehog. Leaf called you hedgehog.
I called Theo a hedgehog.
He went and drowned himself.
But this isn't him. Because he's Jonathan.
This isn't Jonathan. It can't be Jonathan. Jonathan would be old by now. And this is clearly just a boy.
How can you tell?
Look at his hands. Listen to his voice. Look at the way that he moves. It's obviously nothing more than a child. Like Jonathan was when...
When what?
You set this all up, didn't you?
I had no part in this.
This was your doing.
None of this was my doing.
It doesn't matter.
What doesn't matter?
The identity of the victim.
What victim? What are you saying?
It amounts to the same thing.
What thing?
All betrayals are the same betrayal.
No, they're not.
It's true. They are.
No, he's speaking gibberish. This is all gibberish. He's probably a fugitive from a mental institution. He's escaped from Bedlam. Yeah, someone will be arriving any moment to throw a net over his head and drag him shrieking back to his madhouse cell. We shall laugh about this over brandy and cigars. We shall tell the story to Rudyard and Kipling at our club. Rudyard and Hiddenly at our club.
All betrayals are the same betrayal, and they all lead to the same place.
What place?
Here.
Where is here?
This place.
What is this place?
This is where all betrayals lead.
To a satchel with a dead hedgehog and on a bench, underneath the bench? Look, Jonathan, or Theo, whatever your name is, I'm sorry if someone has treated you badly in the past. Yeah, perhaps I've treated someone badly in the past, and perhaps Leaf has also treated someone badly in the past. Men do these things, it's what we do. But there has to be something, like, something like redemption, isn't there? Jonathan, Theo. Guess not.
Hello everybody, I'm Vivian Portner. I'm a senior this year. I spent 3 years in the drama club, and this year I am lucky enough to be directing my own play. The play is titled The Acting Lesson. It's a short melodramatic piece, but we made it a little bit more comedic for your entertainment. It's about 3 students in their very own acting lesson who are trying to figure out what it means to be alive, and then they meet a full circle moment at the end, so you have to stay tuned to figure that out. It was a blast working on this with my cast, so I really hope you guys like it. Thank you for coming out, and please enjoy.
So you've come to watch us work. Good. But remember, there's more to watching than meets the eye. Just as there's more to my job than teaching students how to act. And this is just a lesson, so please don't laugh at my students too loudly. After all, they're only human. Welcome, students, welcome. Welcome to my studio. Very good so far, very good. But now comes the hard part. You've got to emerge. Emerge, emerge, that's right. Blossom forth, spread your petals and drink in life. Aim for the sun, students, aim for the sun. Good, now, relax. Good. Now that we've emerged, is there anything you'd like to ask before we begin our lesson in earnest?
Yeah, I'd like to know why we had to stay like that. It's very uncomfortable being a bud,
We must have waited like that for almost 10 minutes.
Life is waiting, students. That's your first lesson. Acting is life, and life is waiting. Now, before we begin, We've got to have something to call each other.
My name
No.
is...
There are no names here, only titles. Things would be difficult enough as it is without adding extra roles to make it even more complicated. My title will be teacher. Got that? Teacher.
Teacher.
Good. Now, you will be pupil 1, you will be pupilless, and you will be pupil 2. And where's the 4th student?
Fourth student?
There is no fourth student.
No 4th student, but there must be another pupilless. That way it'll turn out even.
But there are only 3 of us.
Why do they always do this to me? Why must they make my job so difficult? I'd never start out with a perfect cast. It's always out of balance.
We're sorry, but...
Sorry? Well, what good does it do to be sorry? Now it's impossible to... Never mind. We just have to work with what we've got. Now, the most important thing for you to remember is that you've got to understand and believe in what you're doing. It doesn't do any good for you to even be out here if you don't believe in what you're doing. And before you can believe in it, you've got to understand it. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to be trees.
What?
We're going to start off with simple things and work our way up.
But how can we believe in what we're doing if we're going to be trees?
That's the whole point. You've got to believe that you're a tree. Now, you are a willow, you are an aspen, and you're an oak. All right, willow, do something. Very good, Willow. Very well done. You've learned something that will be invaluable to you as a human being. All right, Aspen, let's see what colors you can change into. It's summer, and so your leaves are a bright green. Contented, serene green. Very good, very good. But now it's fall, so your leaves are a bright yellow. Ah, that can't be it. But winter's coming on, and so your leaves are turning a dark red. Ah, brooding and remorseful. Aspen seems to be the easiest tree for my students to play, probably because of its changing nature. And then there's oak. All right, oak, be strong now. I'm going to be a wind, and I'm going to try to blow you over. Oak. Oaks are strong with strong roots. Your roots must be made out of air. You couldn't have possibly been believing in what you were doing.
How could anybody believe they were a tree? I'm a human being. Give me human beings to play, and I'll believe them. But asking me to believe I'm a tree is absurd.
Use analogies. That's what I did. Human beings and trees are both rooted in the earth. Well, sure, it's not hard.
It's ridiculous, and I'm not going to do it.
Don't be such a clown. You just can't do it, so you're making up excuses.
I'm not making up excuses, and I'm not a clown.
You'll all be clowns before our lesson is through.
I won't. Neither will I.
No one wants to, but everyone will. Now, let's get on with it.
But let's play human beings this time. He's liable to be here soon.
Do you want that?
No. Aspen must have done something before he gets here.
When will he take us?
Whenever he wants to. Usually it's just when you're starting to get an understanding of what your role is all about. But then again, some of my students were taken before they had any idea of the role they were playing. Some never knew who they were.
Why does he do that?
No one knows why he casts the way he does.
Does anyone ever really make it?
Yes. Once in a while, I get a student who sees right down to the essence of a part and plays with all the feeling and majesty that can be put into it. That's the best feeling I know. Seeing the comet hurtling through darkness, illuminated only by its own brilliance. It's a feeling that makes this centuries-old job seem young and vital again. Well, you wanted to play men, and that's what we'll do. But you'll have to start off as children and work your way up. You're each a child of 6, and you're each going to get a toy to play with. You are the one who's so impatient, so you will receive the prettiest toy. And there will be a toy for you, and a toy for you. But while his toy is shiny and new, yours are old and falling apart. And now I want you 3 happy little children to play together.
busted. My baby carriage wheel bottle. Vroom, vroom. My race car won't get busted. It's brand new. Now baby can go for a nice ride.
Ooh, look at the pretty spider.
Very well done. You passed childhood. But it's important to learn from your experiences. I hope that you understood what you were doing, because I'm afraid to say we're going to have a quiz later on. Now we move on to more complicated problems. You're all adults now, and one of the first duties of adulthood is to select a mate. I'm sure that you're all quite capable of playing roles by now, so I'm going to give each of you scripts for this one. I'd like to discuss the men's parts first, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
All right. You'll be reading lines for this one, but I want you to believe in what they're saying and make them as much a part of yourself as you can, because there's more to this little scene than just reading lines off of the page. The young lady is going to decide, off the basis of your speeches, whom she'd like to marry. You'll see when I give you your scripts that the last few pages are left blank. After the proposal scene, she is free to improvise whatever she'd like.
But she won't really be choosing one of us. She'll just be choosing what we say.
Well, ideally, how you say it will carry a good deal of weight as well, but I'm afraid you're right. And the ladies do generally choose a type rather than a person. But for that reason, we usually stick to these two scripts for a little contest, as they seem to be the ones most often chosen. Now, to keep things fair, we're going to let you have first choice of the scripts, and you can pick whether to go first or second. And your choice?
I'll go second.
Fine. You're allowed a few minutes to prepare if you'd like. I'll cue you. And now for your scripts.
Why are women always pushed into the background?
weren't-
A lady should never be kept waiting.
I'm afraid that you weren't concentrating. Now, here are your scripts. As you can see, the lines are the same for both scenes. You can vary the word order and style of delivery as you wish in order to best reflect your feelings about what's been said. Since there's very little color to your speeches, I suggest that you put as much of your own personality into them as you can. Play them as close to yourself as possible, but believe in them and understand what they're saying. Your decision should be made on what you, yourself, look for in a husband. After the proposal scene, you're free to improvise what you wish. Here is your furniture, and here is your home. I'll cue you.
Hello.
Hi.
I hope you like roses.
Oh, how nice. Thank you. I'll just put them inside. Won't you come in?
Thanks. This is a nice house.
It's home.
Very well furnished, too. You have good taste.
Thanks.
A love seat. Now, these are a real collector's item.
My grandmother left that to me in her will. I don't like it because it's so hard to make it fit in, but it's kind of an heirloom, so I've got to keep it.
Yeah, they can be a real nuisance sometimes, but then it's kind of nice to have something of a family tradition.
Yeah, I guess so. Oops, don't sit on Robert Frost.
What? Oh, you mean this book of his poems?
Yes, I wasn't expecting anyone, so I just put him down there when he came in.
I like Robert Frost. He's so American, straightforward and simple.
Do you read much?
Yes, quite a bit. Of course, in my line of work, it's kind of necessary.
What do you do?
I own a bookstore.
Around here?
Not too far from here, down on First and Elmwood. It's a nice little store. We have a lot of kids who come in and buy from us. So I usually take a look at the controversial books and see if I want them on my shelves or not.
Sounds interesting.
Yes, I like it. I enjoy the environment, and the people who come in.
Of course, reading all those controversial books ain't too bad either.
I like a man who enjoys his work.
Yeah, I enjoy myself all right. But a man gets to an age when he wants something more out of life than a good time. He wants something that doesn't wash off when the rain starts falling.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I thought you did. I've seen you in the store. As a matter of fact, I saw you when you bought this book. I could tell that then you wanted something like this too. There was a longing in your eyes, a faraway look, as if you wanted something in your own future, because the past was nice and necessary. But it was gone now, and you need to find a new wind to fly your kite upon. A wind that was above the clouds and above the rain. And that's why I came here today. Because I saw that feeling in your eyes, the same one that I have. And I thought maybe together we could make it above the rain.
Well, I don't really know what to say. I think I need more time to think about everything you've said. It's beautiful, but I hardly know you, so maybe you could come back later and I can tell you then.
All right, I'll come back. But if you turn me down for somebody else, I hope to God that they have that same longing too, because you'll never truly be happy with someone who doesn't.
Hi, baby. Hi. Here's a set of keys for you. They're to that portion across the street. It's for you. Thank you. Come in, come in. Kinda small, ain't it? It's home. Man, what a funny looking couch. Oh, my grandmother left that to me in her will, you know, before she died. It's kind of an heirloom, so I've got to keep it.
Yeah, well, stick with me, baby, and I'll buy you a velvet couch. A red velvet couch with gold stripes.
That'd be a real heirloom, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Oops, don't sit on Robert Frost.
Robert.
I wasn't expecting anyone, so I just set him down there when you came in. Robert Frost.
And I always thought his name was Jack.
Do you read much? Like, at all?
Nah, I just have fun. See, my old man's got so much dough, he doesn't know what to do with it. So, he gives me $500K a year, and I just play around on that.
What does he do? He's got a chain of freak shows around here?
Nah, all over the country. As a matter of fact, he's got almost every freak in America under contract. Any circus or carny that wants some freaks for their show, they gotta see my old man.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, he likes it. And I like all the money that goes with it, of course. I tool around my Ferrari, except when in my private plane, of course, we just have a ball. And parties and parties and parties. Boy, that's the life for me.
I like a man who enjoys his work.
Yeah, well, I really blast off, you know. But I begin kind of lonely swimming around the country by myself. And my daddy, he thinks it's time I settle down too. As a matter of fact, he said to me, son, if you can find yourself a little old gal who wants to marry you, have some children, why don't you just up your allowance to $1 million a year? He wants some grandchildren, you know, somebody to run the freak business after he's gone. So ever since he told me that, I've been looking as hard as I can to find a nice little girl to tool around the country with. Why, it's been almost 6 hours now. And that's when I saw you, sitting by the window. And I said, hold on, with her looks and my money, we could have a hell of a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Why, we can make love and go to parties and make love and go tool around the country and make love and go flying in my plane. And $500K is entirely enough for me. Why, I wouldn't know what to do with twice as much. Probably just squander it. So, I'll let you have the other $500K free and clear. You could do whatever you want with it.
Are you serious?
my daddy pays his taxes on it, so that money's just a spend. And since you be my wife and all, by that means equal rights. 500K for me and 500K for you.
And I could do whatever I want with it.
Whatever your little heart desires.
Well, I haven't said yes yet. I mean, what about a house? I'd want to have a home to go along with our traveling motel.
Well, sure. We can even settle down. We can come home once a year for 2 weeks as some kind of vacation.
But you wouldn't want me with you all the time, right? I mean, after all, you'd probably want some time alone with your men friends once in a while.
Men friends? Oh, no, you wouldn't have to come with me all the time. As a matter of fact, I think it'd be real fun to come home to my very own wife from a hard, exhausting trip.
Well, I do have another offer.
This isn't just an offer. It's a freaking giveaway.
Okay, all right. Just let me tell him in my own way.
Why, sure, Andrew.
Here he comes. Let me do this.
Hi.
Hi.
Well,
it can't rain when the sun's out.
Sun won't stay out forever.
Maybe it will. Maybe I can make it.
Then it snow?
Sailing kites is for kids.
No, playing in the rain is for kids. Sailing above the clouds is for men. It takes courage. You can't make it without courage.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well done, students. Very well done. Yeah. Well played. Well played. Well given. Now we move on to our final scene. This last scene will use elements of everything that you've learned. The lessons have been many, so I hope that you've learned well. In this last scene, you'll be playing the most difficult role for an actor to play, himself. You'll be playing yourself, with your own emotions, your own desires, and your own faults. And you'll be improvising the whole thing, the actions and the dialogue.
You mean there won't be any situation?
No, I'll give you a situation. It's been waiting for you from the start. Each of you is dying. You've only a few moments of life left. But that may have a tendency to inhibit you. So instead, we're going to have another little competition. Yes, you two enjoy competing against each other, don't you? Well, you ought to find this one particularly interesting, because in this competition, you are free to pick the winner in any manner that you see fit. And then I will tell you the prize.
But how are we supposed to decide who wins if we don't know what we're competing for?
Oh, you'll find a way. My students usually do. Unless, of course, none of you deserve to win. Now, let's get on with it.
This is ridiculous. How can we possibly decide who wins if we don't even know what we're competing for?
Maybe we should...
I think I know what it is.
Survival of the fittest. We fight it out, and whoever's left wins.
That cannot be right. It's too primitive.
But it's gotta be. After all, he said we're dying, right? And what determines the order of death? Survival of the fittest. So, that's what the contest is. To see who's fittest. And the prize, life.
And I'm afraid you two are in for a pretty rough time of it, because I keep myself in top-notch physical condition, and there's... Ow!
What's the matter, big guy?
Ow! Straighten me out, will you? Thanks.
I don't think it's survival of the fittest.
I hope not. It's so unfair. I know what it is. It's birth. Bringing new life into the world, survival of the world. That's more important than survival of the fittest. And since I'm the only one who can give birth,
I kind of thought you were getting around to that. Glorious motherhood. Women and children first.
Well, that's all a bunch of crap. If you ask me, I'm 100 times better at creating new life because I can go knock up 100 different women and create 100 different lives, and all you can do is one lousy one every 9 months.
I don't think that's either.
All right then. So what's your pitch?
Simmons just need to be our self-appointed authority.
Look, it's not our fault that you made such an ass of yourself with that physical fitness stuff.
Well, it was just a fluke. I'm still better than both of you put together.
You asked for my opinion, and I'd like to give it.
Right, let's hear it.
My opinion is that I don't know what it is, but I do know it's not what either of you suggested, because those were just things you know you'd win at.
Well, isn't that something? He doesn't know what's right, but he does know that what we said was wrong.
All right then, what's your pitch? What are you best at? Because that's what you're getting around to, isn't it?
I'm just trying to explain I don't think selfishness is gonna get us anything.
We're not being selfish. We're being practical.
I think you gotta think of something besides yourself.
Come on! Cut the double talk. Tell them what you're getting at.
I'm getting at what I've learned from this whole experience. Don't you see it?
All I can see is I'm right and I want my prize. Now you two don't let me have it, or do we have to play this thing out? Come on, make it easy on yourself.
I'm the one who deserves it, not you. You can see that, can't you? It's got to be the ability to bear life.
Maybe none of us deserves it. We can't rise above ourselves and our pettiness.
Don't be so noble. It's every man for himself. Now come on, put up or shut up.
He's not gonna give anything to a self-appointed winner. Might as well get that through your thick head. Matter of fact, I don't think he's gonna give anything to any of us.
That is not true. I deserve it. I deserve to win. I'm a woman, and women bear children.
A situation you undoubtedly changed long ago if you had any say in the matter.
I deserve to win because I'm the strongest.
If living were a prize, then you deserve it. But you see, it's gotta be more than that. We're already living, and we're still not satisfied.
But nothing else makes any sense.
Maybe because it's not something concrete. Maybe it's because it's something abstract, like peace, inner peace.
What are you talking about?
To know that you've really done something with your life. To know that you've experienced real happiness, not hollow laughter.
What does that have to do with inner peace?
Because then you can face death head on without hiding behind a lie.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
To know that your life has had some purpose besides your own.
God! Now he's giving us a sermon.
Couldn't take the pressure.
I think you're right. The prize has to be life.
Sure, no question.
And since I'm the only one who can develop...
Say that again.
Don't you see we can all win?
All I can see is I want my prize, and I want it now.
But he didn't limit the number of winners.
There's only one winner, and it's me.
You're not the winner.
Please listen, I'm just trying to help.
You and your double talk. You're trying to help yourself. That's what you're trying to help.
But we're nothing but a fake, and you know it.
But we can all win.
Sure, we know.
Clown right up to the very end, aren't you?
But you're only...
God, someone shut him off.
Pupil 2? Were you believing in what you were saying?
Yes.
And in the last scene, you were believing in that as well.
Of course, you have to.
In the final part, the proposal, those were your own words, not the scripts. You improvised them.
They just seem to fit better than the words on the page.
It's because they were you, so they belonged. You can go now, Pupil 2. You've made it. There's no time to do anything else. Go and put into practice what you've learned here today, but remember, the prize wasn't life.
No, I knew it couldn't be. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Pupil 2.
Well, looks like we finally got rid of him.
Good thing. I couldn't take much more of that babbling.
Do you concede now?
Concede what?
That I win. After all, there's no question who's the strongest.
But that has nothing to do with it. The real...
It has everything to do with it now.
You're not serious.
Why not? Someone has to win, and the old ways are often the best.
Even when they're wrong.
But who's to say so? Anyway, if I'm wrong, you are too.
You're right. I guess when it comes right down to it, There's only one fair way to settle this thing. A bargain. Bargain? Bargain, compromise, call it what you like. The point is, we're alone now. We can do whatever we like.
Yeah, that's right.
One brief moment of ecstasy, one last fitting climax.
Now wait a minute.
But it's worth it. You know it's worth it.
Worth dying for?
A lot of men have died for less.
If they have, they were idiots. Now why don't you just concede so we can part as friends?
But we can part as so much more than friends.
I'm afraid that kind of parting is a little too permanent.
Why do you have to be so difficult?
It's nothing personal.
All right, if you force it to come down to that.
It usually does.
But you'll find you're not going to have such an...
Well, it seems our little exercise has come to an end. I knew he'd get here for the final scene. He usually does. Death, that is. These two were competent pupils. Don't be too hard on them. They understood fragments. I've had many that were much worse. But of course, no one has any time to understand it all. He sees to that. Oh, and if you're wondering where the other one is, he's with these two now. Stagehands! It's only one trip his comet makes. One short orbit, and I'm afraid he burns himself out. But you were lucky. Every group is different, and I don't always get one who makes it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some more work to do. Sometimes I think that it'll never end, but I've been promised that one day, it will. Oh, you can go home now. Your lesson is over. Welcome, students, welcome. Welcome to my studio.
This is my third year participating in the One Act Festival. I have selected to direct Patterson Fruit Farm. I chose this play, one, because it's humorous, but two, as I get ready to pack up for college and leave the city, I wanted to do a play that was about a place that was such a positive part of my childhood. The play is about two teachers who, while chaperoning a school field trip, meet two unique figures. I'm just so proud of my cast and I can't wait for y'all to see it.
Tina, Vincetta, have you picked your apples yet? Well, now's the time. We're about to start the tour. Everyone gets one apple. One apple, Tina. You can count to one, remember? That's how many apples you get to take home. One. I don't want to frisk you when we get back on the bus, but I will.
Is your class ready for the tour?
I think I've lost 3 in the corn maze, but that's better than we did last year.
Seriously?
I just hope we find them before the spring thaw this time. Joe, were we inviting an apple or a pumpkin on this visit? Well, which one are you gnawing on? Apples are over there.
I'm just so glad we get to bring the kids out here. It's such a beautiful day.
Snow by Halloween. Watch.
But here they're all interfacing with a genuine rural learning platform.
Brian Pendergrass, we do not shove children off the hay bales. She was not jumping. You are not the king of the hay bales. You are on the list, young man. And if I see you touch one more child, I'm going to personally come up there and show you who the queen of the pitchforks is. You never lose the ones you want to lose in the corn maze, do you?
I thought we got rid of the bad one when that Bartleby boy got sent to Hawken.
Hi.
Hello. Afternoon.
These are your kids?
We're from Canterbury Elementary.
Are you our tour guide?
Oh, I don't work here. But do you know if they're hired?
Are you a migrant laborer?
Could be.
I guess you'd have to ask at the front office.
I actually just lost my job this morning.
I'm sorry.
And I was driving. Just driving, you know. Well, driving and escaping from the police. And I think, you know what I haven't had in ages? Fresh apple butter. Patterson Fruit Farm apple butter. That's what hit the spot. We used to come out here when I was a kid, every fall, get apples and pumpkins for Halloween. Even though we lived on the west side, my mom grew up in Wiggly. She said we have to go out to the fruit farm. So here I am, like some Cleveland salmon returning to spawn in the apple orchard. You know? And I got about 30 hot dogs I can share with the kids. They've been sitting in my car for a couple of hours, but they're probably still good.
No. Thank you. No. No.
Right. Regulations, danger, all that.
It's the age we live in. Just out of curiosity, what did you mean, escaping from the police?
Parking violation. And a possible misunderstanding about the hot dogs. You need a hand with all this lunchboxes, Shawty?
No, thank you. I should really just put these back on the bus.
It's great. You bringing the kids out here?
Well, it's curriculum-based pedagogy. Ohio geography and history, basic spatial computations, the food chain. We think it's important for them to see where their food comes from.
Right.
It's so vital and nourishing for the children to touch their roots and feel the good earth and its fruits in their own little hands.
Caroline, get your fingers out of there. Something that looks like it came out the wrong end of a duck, and of course, you go sticking your paws in it. I've got sanitizer. Come here. Come here.
You know the other thing I used to love? Haunted hay rides. Loping along a tractor trail in the dark, and then whoosh, there's a ghost. Which was really just shit on a string. Although, actually, now that I think of it, my strongest memory was when I was 9 years old, during one of these tours. We got off the tractor to look at this spooky graveyard. And I guess I stayed in too long, because the tractor left without me.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I had to walk about 2 miles back alone in the dark. These goblins and werewolves kept leaping at me out of nowhere. I remember a lot of screaming.
Oh my God.
And when I finally arrived at the main house, they had drunken all the hot cider and eaten all the pumpkin cookies. They hadn't realized I wasn't there.
I'm so sorry.
That wasn't my favorite author.
Afternoon, folks.
Hello.
Hi.
You must be our tour guide.
That am us. Name's Hank. You two look like you're in charge of lunches.
Clean up, except not him.
I'm here for some apple gum.
Lord knows we got that. Might as well grab some apples while you're here.
I might.
You want some cold lands, which are pretty good for baking the sauce. You just missed Paula Red. A Honey Crisp will be sweet and sharp for another 2 weeks. Then it's John the Gold on Moncoon till November 5th. Then go for Sun Crisp, Gold Rush, Brayburn, and nothing.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, sometimes this stuff kind of just vomits out. Can't remember my kids' names, but I can tell you when I'd read it has peak hotness. Sometimes at dusk, I just want to lay my head down on the side press, close my eyes, and pray for somebody to turn on the machine without looking. Why don't you round up the kids now? Oh.
Children, time to line up. Miss Breckenridge has the hand sanitizer before we begin the tour.
I used to come out here when I was a kid.
I used to work here as a kid. I'm from next door, actually. 61 seasons of watching stuff grow and die till it's all died out to come the Red Delicious Empire.
I was just telling the teacher about my memories of the place, like the haunted hay rides.
I used to get crowd into working those, dress up as a werewolf and jump out, skip fields and that was funny.
Sure it was.
A few rules. They pull the horse's ear or tail on the wagon, he will bite, and I won't stop. When we pick an apple off the tree, you twist it off, not pull. After pulling, I twist whatever body part I grab first. Each child gets 1 apple and 1 cup of cider. They try to smoke all more, and we will prosecute. Then just 1, and we will get back down. We're not liable for any injuries sustained plummeted in the apple tree house, the apple slide, the 3-mile apple playground, or anything that happens inside the apple orchard. Now that's how it sounds, Snapper. This is a good time.
Dwayne Pendergrass, you are not hurling that pumpkin. You want to play Headless Horseman? You come back here on your own time. 1 more syllable and you're going to find out the meaning of the word headless. Okay, they're listening. You can start.
Boys and girls, this is Farmer Hank. Can I call you Farmer Hank?
You can call me whatever the hell you want.
Okay, well, Farmer Hank is going to teach us about growing apples.
I remember this tour. I love this tour.
Oh, I'm so glad. Howdy, boys and girls. How you all doing? You liking our farm?
Boo.
Well then, you can go sit back on the bus. No, I can't. This is a busy town out here on the fruit farm. You're on my 3rd tour today.
Wow.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I just get my 2000 tour last Monday.
Wow.
Yep. 2,000. 2,000. Good God. Good sweet God.
Hey?
Now, there are a lot of things we can do with apples, right? What are some of those things? Uh-huh. You can throw them, can't you? Someone's head. Hard. No one can. Best thing to do with apples is eating them. You know the most famous apple eater ever? A little lady named Gideon.
Oh, we're a public school, Hank. We don't...
You know, I've always liked the thought of a pretty naked lady saying out here eating one of my apples. Never happened, though. Never will, never will. 2,000 times. But I can relate to you. You know, kids, you're hanging around your garden, your orchard. Life's going along fine. It's hard, but good. Then, but, where'd this come from? An apple tree of ideas. Say, what if we subsidize our honest good farm work with the occasional tour? Let people come pay their own money and let people pick the apples for the privilege. Well, I'll bite that apple. And God Bluey! There we go all eating to bust those city kids and their parents and their teachers and their toys. I mean, we guys have a real farm. We'd had time to be showing a bunch of snot-nosed, overprivileged brats what we were doing because we were doing it. I mean, we used to be up in our balls, sheep shit, and coffee sets. Now look at us. The Disney World of Granny's Face.
Farmer Hank!
When I was your age, I was from the South, the open one on a horse's side, and blowing foxes' heads off with trail guard shotgun to keep them away from the chickens. You have a fire gun? You want it?
Okay, everyone, back on the bus. Back on the bus.
Isn't the tour I remember?
This is so much better than Lake Farm Park.
Apples and pumpkins? My ass! You have a lid till you reach arm up inside Mother Pig, twisted and stuck till they freeze. That's farm life. That's living off the land. That's where your pepperoni or your pizza comes from. Now, let's go get you some apple butter.
Hi everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. My name is Rain Bontoff, and this is my 4th year doing drama club. The show I have chosen to direct is called Wildwood Park, and it's a little bit different than most other one-acts. It's actually not a comedy, it's more of a psychological thriller, and it involves, oddly enough, real estate. But it's weird. I think it's fun. I hope you all enjoy it as much as I enjoyed directing it. Thank you.
The neighborhood. It exceeds my expectations. The trees are symmetrical. The mailboxes all have matching lids along the alley. The mailboxes even have tiny flags.
It's well tended.
It's almost perfection, isn't it?
How did you hear about this listing?
The newspaper.
The real estate section.
Yes.
That's not possible. Boulevard Realty, in the interest of discretion, in the interest of taste, opted not to publish this particular address. So when you called with your specific request?
The front page, Miss Haviland. That is how I realized. I surmised that this house would be for sale.
Did you?
And your firm, your size, your reputation. What other firm, I asked myself.
Well, what other firm in this area?
You must admit, I am not the first prospective buyer whose interests were initially piqued by reports of an altogether different nature.
No, you are not. You most certainly are not. Where have you been living?
Glenridge.
I'm not familiar with Glenridge.
No?
I've never even heard of Glenridge.
Yeah, past Ridge Falls, near Beacon Ridge, beyond Ridgedale.
And suddenly you've decided to move?
Yes.
More room, better schools, a sound investment strategy.
It's time.
But why now?
I've weathered a change in status.
Marital, professional?
Both.
Well, I hope it works out. For the best.
I hope.
I'd like to point out some exterior features on the house, if I may. It's colonial, of course. The portico dates back to the Revolutionary War, Wildwood Park's own Monticello. The pool, the carport, the drainage system, the storm windows, that's all contemporary.
Conservative, isn't it?
Classic. Beyond faddish. A constant. Notice the weathercock?
Where I can't see, I can't quite.
The rooster.
The glare.
The silhouette.
The sun is so white.
Left of the chimney?
Ah, yes.
It wasn't bought. It was commissioned.
Impressive.
This house belongs on the dollar bill. What sort of work do you do?
Medical.
You're not a journalist?
No? Should I be?
I have to ask.
Yeah.
You're not undercover, are you?
Under what?
You're not wearing a wire.
Excuse me?
You're not an opportunist, are you?
I rather expected I'd be asking questions this evening.
I've learned I cannot be too careful. A few weeks ago, a man requested to see the house. He brought a camcorder, said his wife was back home in Terre Haute, and he intended to mail the tape back before deciding. Well, you can imagine my surprise when a few days later I turn on the television to one of those alarmist news broadcasts, and there it is, edited with an ominous soundtrack.
He'd sold the tape.
So forgive me if I exert caution.
If you distrust my sincerity.
No, I didn't say that.
I have an approved loan. I am eager to relocate.
I am relieved.
Would you care to see my current correspondence with the bank?
Please, you really...
Proof positive the listing of my own home in the town center.
That really isn't necessary.
2-bedroom, 3.5 bath, bedroom, foyer, breakfast nook, skylight.
I apologize.
I would be less than honest.
Yes?
If I did not confess to an ulterior motive.
I suspected as much.
You see, the reason why I chose this house, this particular house, with its rather notorious history, is that I am, you see, well, I'm a bargain hunter.
Oh, well.
I would assume by and large, your average buyer would have, well, trepidation, a fear that the house had somehow been besmirched and absorbed its own history, somehow become a hard sell. But I am not a superstitious person, Miss Haviland. Karma, aura, these things mean nothing to me.
I have an unhappy surprise for you, Doctor.
No.
Yes?
That's shocking.
Through the roof.
Is that the culture? The culture at large, is that what we've become? You'll make me a cynical woman, Miss Haviland.
This house has made me a cynical woman.
And the property values, they are
holding their own.
My.
Wildwood Park has not changed. It is the same enclave it always was. We still boast excellent schools, and I don't have to tell you, Doctor, the shopping in our little town is world class. We have our own library, our own post office, our own women's auxiliary, and our own police force.
I couldn't help but notice the squad car at the curb.
Yes, precaution against vandalism. A few weeks ago, a rock, some spray paint, eggs.
I see.
An isolated incident.
It's to be expected.
It gives me great civic pride, Dr. Simeon, to tell you that for weeks, the front porch was teeming with candles, bouquets. My own daughter made a wreath from sapling twigs. I was moved. Shall we go inside?
Yes.
You'll notice the house has 2 double bolts with pit-proof cylinders. In addition, a 24-hour fully computerized alarm system with automatic police and fire notification, as well as an electronic fence.
These precautions, they are recent?
Yes, they are new. They were not here before. Shall we? 8,000 square feet, Doctor. 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. Notice the upward sweep of the foyer? The walls rise to the full height of the house. The candelabra, that's brass. It truly is perfect. Notice the sunlight streaming down. We're flooded, aren't we? Dr. Simeon, your glasses, the color scheme?
Ah. Safe now, isn't it? And that?
Where?
Above the arch.
Ah, yes, that. It's Pennsylvanian Dutch, a touch of whimsy.
What is it?
Oh, dear.
You're blushing.
It's a hex sign. That is a hex sign.
No.
For good luck.
One can't help but think.
Please don't.
Is this the living room?
Oh, don't charge ahead.
Forgive me.
I am conducting the tour. Follow the leader. Indulge me.
Of course.
An exquisite space, Doctor. Floor-length windows on the ceiling, rosettes, and notice the fireplace. Its size, its grandeur. Quarried marble. Venetian, I think.
A substantial mantle.
Yes.
Can it support structure? Can it support object d'arts?
I think you can gauge, Doctor.
It looks inhabited.
Things happened so quickly. The house was placed on the market so soon. The furniture will be sold at auction.
An appropriate gesture.
Yes, and the proceeds will benefit the Children's Legal Defense Fund.
Fair.
If, when it is recovered, the Nubian statuette is expected to fetch a startling sum.
Surprise, surprise.
Who, I ask myself, who would buy?
Our society is predatory.
I'd almost bid on it myself, so I could take it home with me. So I could take it home and with my husband's hammer.
Yes!
I'd pay a hefty sum just for the pleasure of seeing it destroyed.
Do you know, Miss Haviland, the totems of our time?
The totems?
In Milwaukee, a stockpot. In Brentwood, an errant glove.
And among them,
yes,
in Wildwood Park,
precisely,
a Nubian statuette. You'll notice how the living room segues into the dining room. Dignified, isn't it? Vintage. You can comfortably seat up to 24. Those sconces are from a tavern in the Hudson River Valley, circa 1890. And you'd never guess, they're on a dimmer.
The kitchen can't be far behind.
Careful, that door swings. A rustic look, but with every modern convenience. An electric oven, an industrial range, a microwave, and for old world effect, a wood-burning stove. You'll notice the cabinets are cherry wood with Mexican tile. There is an island, cherry too, but with a granite countertop. Pull-out shelves below, and you see it there. Oh, dear.
What?
A block.
A block.
A butcher block.
Why, Miss Haviland?
I'm horrible.
You made a pun.
I'm a monster.
A pun, that's all.
I should have my tongue cut out. Oh, there, I've done it again.
You're giddy.
Shame on me. Shame on us both.
Humor, Miss Haviland, fortifies.
All day, every day, dodging past the newsstands, those rapacious tourists. I fight my way past. If it's, I have business here. If it's made me loopy, Doctor, then I have every right to be.
Bravo.
My husband says all those infernal shutterbugs, all those flash bulbs, they've seared my brain.
A fanciful thought, Miss Haviland.
My husband says that I take things to heart, that I should just go on automatic. That is easy, Doctor, for my husband to say. After all, it is his forte.
I'd like to see the primary bedroom.
I'm exhausted. Afraid that's the truth.
The bedroom, please.
Oh, but you haven't seen the den. You haven't seen the home office, the maid suite. Oh, come on, don't barrel through.
I'm overeager.
I can't have people wander. I can't have people traipsing through.
I might go nosing in the linen cupboards.
Don't be absurd. It's not that.
I could empty out the medicine chest.
It's not that at all.
I might go pirate some knickknacks and open up a souvenir stand on the corner.
I am responsible for the house and all of its contents. There are police on my back. There are attorneys, a battalion of lawyers. Under the circumstances, it is an overwhelming duty.
I was insensitive.
My psychiatrist is worried for my safety. She fears for it. I am on tranquilizers.
Must be a strain.
Shall we? There are ceiling fans in all of the bedrooms, which saves a fortune on cooling costs in the summer. A walk-in closet, which I dare say is larger than my living room.
Isn't it?
What?
By the bed. Empty shoes. This is where it began, yes?
I beg your pardon?
The balcony doors. They were pried ajar. They were left open.
You know, I don't approve. I don't appreciate.
Along the scuffs, locks, gouges.
I am here to show the house. I am not a detective. I am not a talk show host.
Pardon me, I couldn't help but notice there, on the wainscot.
The paint has been retouched.
Along the molding.
The carpets have all been shampooed.
Traces exist.
No, where?
Splotches.
There is nothing to notice.
Rimming the baseboards?
I don't see a thing.
Where are the electrical outlets?
What?
It's a fair question.
It's a taunt. It's a jibe.
For a lamp? Clock radios, perhaps. A laptop? These sorts of things require voltage.
All sorts of appliances require voltage, Dr. Simeon. All sorts.
A heating pad, perhaps. An electric blanket. Nothing menacing, nothing pneumatic.
Don't be facetious, Doctor.
Show me!
Please!
Where?
There, under the vanity and behind the headboard.
The wall plate's been scorched.
What did you expect? It was overburdened. It was profoundly misused.
Hidden down here? Out of sight, out of mind?
There are still a few details.
A few vestiges?
A few repairs.
She was a singer for a while, wasn't she? She was on television in New York.
Dr. Simeon, if you have inquiries about the house, about its design, its architecture, its upkeep,
she sold thigh cream and overcame personal struggles. He made a fortune in junk bonds.
I'm sure I don't know.
Of course you know. Everyone knows.
I'm not interested.
You can't flip on the television, turn on a radio.
I'm mute, Doctor.
Even pick up a paper?
Because of my professional obligations, because of my necessary involvement, there are certain things I would rather not know.
The little one. The youngest. The girl.
I have recommended to my employer that we remove these photographs. They are unnerving. Prospective buyers are unhinged.
Freckles. A gap tooth.
Their eyes follow you, no matter where you turn.
What was her name?
Every day, all day, in here, in this room, at work, outside, too, in line at the grocery store, the tabloids, on t-shirts. For God's sake, they've even been silkscreened.
Here she is again. In a pageant of some kind.
Put that down.
Look at her. She's dressed as a radish. She's
You're
singing.
not supposed to touch things.
Oh, and watching the family dog. Is it true? Even the dog?
You are disturbing things. Me.
The police posit that she, the little girl, heard a sound sometime past 3. Only she had hidden under the bed, they said. If only she had ran out the back door. They said if only her little legs...
Heather. Her name was Heather.
Take me to the nursery.
Do you have children, Dr. Simeon?
More questions, Miss Haviland?
It's just, if you don't have children, if you don't have young children, then the nursery is irrelevant.
Surely you are not offering this house on a room-by-room basis.
Don't insult me, Doctor.
I am interested in the entire structure, not a portion thereof.
It's just, you've hardly inspected the house. The living room, the dining room, the kitchen, and nary a remark. She's bound to have questions about the plumbing, I say to myself, and radon, and chimney flues. She'll want to know about the winter insulation, about the new roof, but no!
Miss Haviland,
Oh no, with you it's all hex signs and hollow shoes and little girls.
There are still whole rooms.
The tour is over.
Entire wings.
It's 5:30.
The backyard, the guest house.
The workday has come to a close.
I have driven a great distance.
Please leave.
I can't readily arrange a second visit.
Wildwood Park is a private community, a discreet community. It is not some sordid theme park. No, freak show with its tent flap spread. No, torn open for the nation's amusement. It is not some dime store, penny dreadful, Stephen King.
A daughter, 6, and a son, 8. My daughter's name is Sarah. She has hazel eyes and a widow's peak, and what at first glance may look like an extra appendage, but upon further investigation reveals itself to be a small, odorous stuffed bear. A veteran of her nights with the flu, the washing machine, and even a long, torturous night spent in the supermarket. He has one eye and leaves an unmistakable trail of fleece everywhere he goes. His name, should you require it for the record, is Mr. P. My son is Joshua. Because he was slow to walk, he was misdiagnosed with cerebral palsy. Now, he is graceful and long of limb. He's obsessed with choo-choo trains. My wife, at recommendation of her psychiatrist, has granted custody solely to me.
It's upstairs. The wallpaper is pale green, candy striped, suitable for a boy or a girl. There are window guards on all of the windows. An intercom, so wherever you are, you'll never feel far away. The children have their own bath with a low basin and a rail, of course. The design ensures attempts to ensure a child's safety. I want desperately to sell this house. I like fretting over parquet and measuring square feet and judging closet space. I do not like being a sentinel. I do not like standing by as people mock and gape and jeer. It is a disease, doctor, and I fear that I am catching it. This is not a movie. This is not a television show. What I do here is necessary. Houses are bought and sold, but sometimes because it is so recent, sometimes because it is so far beyond tragedy, what I do here feels like desecration. Walking in their tracks, sifting through their things. Oh God, forgive me.
Did you know the victims, Miss Haviland?
No.
Not even a passing acquaintance?
No.
Then, permit me to suggest that this unfortunate event weighs far more over you than perhaps it should.
It's all I can think about. I have my own life, my own husband, my own children. We are remodeling our house on the Eastern Shore. My mother has cancer. These things are the substance of my life. are merely distractions to keep me from obsessing. Why that night? Why those children? Were the parents spared the sight? Were they taken first, or were they forced to witness? And this doctor, this is what haunts me the most. What sort of man, what sort of brute creature?
Anyone, I suppose, would wonder.
It's worse than wondering. Once, a canceled appointment. I reset the alarm, barricaded the door, drew the blinds. From her closet, a robe, blue, with pink piping. I sat in the study, swathed in her smell, poring through old family photo albums, birthdays, Christmases, afternoons at the fair, first days of school, anniversary notes, private, still perfumed. They were not mine, but they could have been mine. They might as well have been mine. I am such a hypocrite, Doctor.
It's all right.
A new family here. That would be nice. An antidote, Doctor, right? That's the word. I would like for you and your children, a fresh start.
Remember, Miss Haviland, you have your own home, your own retreats.
Yes.
Would you see me to the porch?
My pleasure, Doctor. I'm embarrassed. My employer.
The robe, snapshots.
If they knew.
Not a word.
I'm sorry, my display.
Don't mention it.
Here's my card. If you have any question, don't hesitate.
I won't. I did have one question, though.
Yes?
Musing, a curiosity. Nothing pragmatic, nothing nuts and bolts.
Please.
One thing does concern me.
Oh?
No arrest. No conviction?
Sadly enough.
No substantive leads?
Every day we pray.
Well, there does exist the possibility, as you suggest, of the perpetrator returning.
I see my paranoia has spread.
No, your prescience. Like you said, it's been documented that many a criminal will find themselves returning to the scene of a crime despite the immense risks.
I can't imagine.
Despite the double bolts, the electric fence, even the squad car at the end of the curb.
Is that true? Is that what they say? But why?
All in pursuit of the covert thrill, getting away with a wrongful act.
Is that really true? I mean, is that really what they say?
It would not surprise me to hear that you, yourself, had ushered the culprit through these halls yourself.
It's a good thing that I am so thorough, Doctor, so vigilant.
He feigns interest in the housing market. With every question, he has a ready quip. He is from somewhere far away. He is a lawyer? No. A banker? No. She's a doctor.
Yes.
She is newly married
No. Expecting a baby?
No. Separated.
She has grown daughters? No. Adopted sons? No.
A boy and a girl. Her name, it begins with an S. She has a very old, very beloved, a toy, a stuffed bear. I don't, oh God!
As you usher her through the halls, your stucco and mini blinds, formica and chintz, all the meanwhile, she's reliving with a sort of salacious glee the very night she let go of her own base nature and thwarted every kind of human sanity. The very night she let go of her own constraints and created the very darkest kind of nature. Tell me, do you ever consider that?
No, I do not.
Perhaps you should.
No, I emphatically do not. It would render my job untenable.
Yes?
It would induce paralysis. It would hold me captive.
Precisely.
I cannot live my life that way.
You are a wise woman.
I hope that you will consider this house. I hope that you are in the market, and I hope that you will buy.
Perhaps when I leave, you offer the policeman a cup of coffee.
No.
Maybe strike up a conversation.
I see him every morning, but we've never met.
Perhaps today is the day.
I do not know him.
That doesn't preclude a polite introduction.
I know you, Doctor.
Thank you.
You are the person whom I know.
Thank you so much. It's been a lovely afternoon. The house is beautiful.
You're interested then?
Yes.
Dr. Simeon.
Miss Haviland.
You are interested?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around despite the fire that's across the street. But my second show, Double Wedding, is about a bride who's having some doubts about her marriage, but she receives some unexpected advice from someone close to her. And yeah, thank you so much for coming again, and enjoy.
Come in. Deborah?
Oh, I can't believe the moment is finally here. Oh, look at you. You're beautiful. Okay, the hall is set. You should see what the lady did with the flowers. She did a marvelous job. Now, don't be upset, but your grandmother knocked over the table with the presents on it. I don't think too many of them got broken, though. Oh, I was kidding! Oh! Just a little joke to break the tension. Not that you should be tense. Phil is wonderful. We love him. Look at me. Going on and on, telling you not to be tense. Going on like a leaky faucet. Or an open faucet. Or an open fire hydrant. How are you, dear?
I'm fine, Mom. I feel good.
Get me out of here! Phil is an idiot! I hate him! I'm dying here! Can't you see that? If you were any kind of a mother, you'd save me!
I'm a little excited now that the day is finally here.
Oh, that's amazing. Phil's parents are wonderful.
Oh, please! They're such snobs! I don't think their spines bend unless they've been drinking. Phil's father insists on a cocktail before dinner. Just one, he chuckles. 4 martinis later, this drunk at the table is telling bad jokes and blowing cigar smoke in my face.
Phil's father is very funny.
Yeah.
And Kate, Phil's mother, she's nice too.
She would take an ice pick to my head if she thought she could get away with it. To her, I'm this tramp from the city who stole her son away from their perfect little suburban world. Never mind that he was already living here.
Kate's really welcomed me into the family.
Oh, that's great. It's so good when everyone always gets along. You know, your father's mother was a little too cool to me at first.
Are you catching the subtext here?
You look beautiful.
Thank you. It means so much to me that I was yours. It adds something special to the ceremony for me. A connection to you.
Are you kidding? This thing makes me look like a cow. How did I let you talk me into wearing this instead of that slinky fair wang I loved? What the hell was I thinking? A huge bow on my butt? Why didn't I just paint a big target there? And who invented these sleeves? Lego mutton? What kind of a style is that? Oh yes, please make my arms look like the hacked off legs of a sheep. Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm gonna be sick.
Okay, I'll let you finish getting ready. Your father will be up in a moment.
I'll be here.
I think...
Okay, let's get out of here. Phil's no great catch. We can do better.
Okay. Be calm. Wedding day jitters. That is all this is.
Jitters? No, jitters would be butterflies in my stomach. These are kangaroos.
Stop it, Deborah. No. Phil's not perfect, but neither are we. 2 years of therapy, and we still haven't gotten over not getting Barbie's dream house when we were 6. Phil's good for me. Everyone says so.
Of course. Nobody's gonna come out and say, dump the loser. All of our friends are just as simpering and self-absorbed as we are.
I'm not simpering.
The point is that
No. He's considerate and sweet. He makes me laugh. He's good looking. He always goes and watches romance movies with me, but never makes me watch those stupid action movies with him.
That's your criteria for a good marriage? Movie compatibility?
Well, no, of course not.
But what?
I can't think of anything else right now.
Doesn't that tell you something?
Hey, Angel.
Oh, hi, Dad.
How are we doing?
I'm fine.
Dad, you'll get me out of this. Don't let the smile fool you. I'm making a big mistake. Offer me a way out. Come on, say it. Now, are you sure this is what you want? Because all we want is for you to be happy. Are you happy, Deborah? Say it!
Look, Debbie, I know I probably don't have to say this, and your mother and I think the world of Phil, but if you're having any doubts, there's still time to back out. Your mother and I love you, and all we want is for you to be happy. Are you happy, Debbie?
Yes! Yes! No, I didn't mean it like that!
Oh, thank God, because we spent enough on this thing to bankroll a small country.
Yeah, that's hilarious, Dad. Real funny.
Kevin, you forgot your hat.
Oh, right, sorry.
Are you ready?
Everyone's filling the seats, and the DJ is ready to fire up the wedding march.
I'm getting out of here.
Would you just give me a moment alone?
Not getting cold feet, are you, Deborah?
Of course she's not. Really, what a thing to say to a bride.
Oh, she knows I'm not serious.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm not doing it. Yes, we are. You rushed us into this. We've only known this guy for a couple of years. I never should have left you alone with him.
You are such a naysayer. I can't believe I've listened to your carping all my life because frankly, you're an idiot.
Hey, I haven't seen you skydiving recently.
At least I want to. You're just scared. That's it, isn't it?
What's it?
You're scared. You're scared of everything.
That's ridiculous. I've never heard anything so... All I've been trying to do is keep us safe. Give me one good reason, why we should go through with this.
I love him. And he loves me. Now shut up and pull yourself together.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. I apologize for how smoky it is. My name is Olivia Bruning. I'm one of the senior directors. I'm the director of Sure Thing, which is a little meet cute with a little extra flair. I'm so proud of my cast. They've been working so hard for this. We've had very few practices, but they were able to memorize their lines, get all the blocking down. They've been doing a great job. So please enjoy.
Excuse me, is this chair taken?
Excuse me?
Is this taken?
Yes, it is.
Oh, sorry.
Sure thing.
Excuse me, is this chair taken?
Excuse me?
Is this taken?
No, but I'm expecting somebody in a minute.
Thanks anyway.
Sure thing.
Excuse me, is this chair taken?
No, but I'm expecting somebody very shortly.
Would you mind if I sit here till he or she or it comes?
They do seem to be pretty late.
You never know who you might be turning down.
Sorry. Nice try, though.
Sure thing. Is this seat taken?
No, it's not.
Would you mind if I sit here?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Is this seat taken?
No, it's not.
Would you mind if I sit here?
No, go ahead.
Thanks. Every place else seems to be taken. Great place. What's the book?
I just wanted to read in peace and quiet, if you don't mind.
No, sure thing. Every place else seems to be taken. Great place for reading.
Yes, I like it.
What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Hemingway. What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Have you read it?
Not actually. I've sure read about it, though. It's supposed to be great.
It's great.
I hear it's great. Waiter, what's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Do you like Faulkner?
I'm a Mets fan myself.
Have you read it?
I read it in college.
Where was college?
Oral Roberts University.
Where was college?
I was lying, I never actually went to college. I just like to party!
Where was college?
Harvard. I love Faulkner. I spent a whole winter reading him once.
I've only just started.
I was so excited after 10 pages, I went out and bought everything else he ever wrote. One of the greatest reading experiences of my life. I mean, all that incredible psychological understanding and page after page of gorgeous prose and his profound grasp on the mystery of time and human existence, the smells of the earth. What do you think?
I think it's pretty boring.
What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Do you like Faulkner?
I love Faulkner.
I think he's incredible.
I spent a whole winter reading him once, you know.
I was so excited that after the first 10 pages, I went out and bought everything else he wrote.
Yeah, I mean, all that incredible psychological understanding.
And the prose is so gorgeous.
And his profound grasp on the mystery of time.
And human existence? I can't believe I've waited this long to read him.
You never know, you might not have liked him before.
That's true.
You gotta hit these things at the right moment or else it's no good.
That's happened to me.
It's all in the timing. My name's Bill, by the way.
I'm Betty.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I thought reading Faulkner was a great experience.
Yeah.
Sound and the Fury.
Well, onwards and upwards, I guess.
Waiter, you gotta hit these things at the right moment or else it's no good.
What's happened to me?
It's all in the timing. My name's Bill, by the way.
I'm Betty.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you come in here a lot?
Actually, I'm just in town for 2 days from Pakistan.
Oh, Pakistan. Do you come in here a lot?
Like every other day, I think.
Really? I come in here quite a lot and I've never seen you before.
We must be on different schedules.
Misconnections.
Yeah, it's different time zones.
It's amazing how you can live right next door to someone in this town and never even know it.
No.
City life.
It's crazy.
We probably pass each other every day, maybe right in front of this place.
Yeah.
Well, these waiters sure seem to be in a different time zone. I can't seem to locate one anywhere. Waiter! So, what do you...
I beg your pardon?
Nothing, sorry.
We must be on different schedules.
Misconnections.
Yeah, it's different time zones.
It's amazing how you can live right next door to someone in this town and never even know it.
I know.
City life.
It's crazy.
You weren't waiting for someone when I came in, were you?
Actually, I was.
Oh, boyfriend?
Sort of.
What's a sort of boyfriend?
My husband.
You weren't waiting for someone when I came in, were you?
No, I'm just reading.
Really? It's sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, isn't it?
Do you think so?
Well, sure. I mean, what's a good-looking woman like you doing out alone on a Friday night?
Trying to get away from lines like that.
No, listen. You weren't waiting for someone when I came in, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, isn't it? Reading here all by yourself.
I guess, in a way.
I mean, what's a good-looking woman like you doing out alone on a Friday night? No offense, but...
Well, it's actually my first time alone on a Friday night in a really long time.
Oh.
You see, I just ended a relationship.
Oh.
Rather long-standing.
I'm sorry. Well, since reading alone is such a sad occupation for a Friday night, would you like to go elsewhere?
No.
Do something else?
No, thanks.
I was headed to the movies in a while anyway.
I don't think so.
Big chance to let Faulkner catch his breath, you know. Those long sentences get him pretty tired.
Thanks anyways.
Yeah,
Thanks for the invitation.
sure thing. You weren't waiting for someone when I came in, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, isn't it?
I was trying to think of it as existentially romantic, you know. Cappuccino, great literature, rainy night.
That only works in Paris. We could hop the late plane, get on a Concorde, find a cafe.
I'm a little short on play in Paris tonight.
Damn it, so am I.
But after I was finished reading this section, I was headed to the movies. Would you like to come along, seeing as you can't locate a waiter?
I appreciate the invitation, but...
Girlfriends.
Two, actually. One of them's pregnant, and Stephanie...
Girlfriend?
No, I don't have a girlfriend. Not if you mean the castrating bitch I dumped last night.
Girlfriend?
Sort of. Sort of.
What's a sort of girlfriend?
My mother. I just ended a relationship, actually.
Oh.
Of rather long standing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
This is my first time out alone in a while. I'm pretty at sea, to tell you the truth.
So you didn't stop to talk to me because you're a Moonie or you've got some weird political affiliation?
No. Straight down the ticket, Republican. Straight down the ticket, Democrat. Can I tell you something about politics? I like to think of myself as a citizen of the universe. I'm unaffiliated.
That's early. So am
I vote my beliefs.
Exactly. Labels aren't important.
Right, labels are not important. Take me, for example. So what if I got a 2-point it, 3-point it, 4-point at college? Or if I did come from Pittsburgh, Westchester County, Cleveland.
Sure.
I believe a man is what he is. A person is what he is. A person is what they are.
I think so too.
So what if I admire Trotsky? So what if I once got a full body liposuction? So what if I don't have a penis? So what if I once spent an entire year in the Peace Corps? I was acting on my own convictions.
Sure.
You can't just hang a sign on a person.
Exactly. Oh, but you're a Scorpio. You know, after I finished this section, I was headed to the movies. Would you like to come along?
Sure. What's playing?
A bunch of the really old Jim Jarmusch movies.
Oh.
You don't like Jim Jarmusch?
No, I like Jim Jarmusch.
You're not crazy about Jim Jarmusch.
Those early ones kind of get on my nerves.
Oh.
You know, I was thinking... Oh,
no,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was headed to the movies in a bit if you wanted to join me.
So was I.
The Jim Jarmusch Festival?
Right down the street.
Do you like the early ones?
I think anybody who doesn't ought to be run off the planet.
How many times have you seen Dead Man?
8 times.
12. So, are you still interested?
Do you like Edamund's crumb cake?
I think anyone that doesn't ought to be run off the planet, like you said earlier. But yeah, no, last night I went out at like 2 in the morning to get myself one. Did you have an Etch-a-Sketch as a child?
Yes. Do you like Brussels sprouts?
No, I think they're disgusting.
They are disgusting.
Do you still believe in marriage in spite of current sentiments against it?
Yes.
And children?
3 of them.
2 girls and a boy.
Harvard, Vassar, and Brown.
And will you love me?
Yes.
And cherish me forever?
Yes.
And do you still want to go to the movies?
Sure thing. Waiter!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, we so much appreciate you sticking with us through this singular, I hear it, and hopefully never again repeated theatrical circumstance. Again, we were just so delighted to present these shows to you. We do hope you'll join us again in April for Agatha Christie's Murder on the Nile. They just found out too. So, of course, we don't charge admission for these shows. Our great delight is just that you come out and see them. We don't sell tickets or anything, but there is a very old theatrical tradition where we pass a hat. So our most important thing is that you came and saw the show. But if you've got $5, we will take it. All right, thank you very much. Make it home safe. You can come hang out with actors and get pictures and stuff now.